build. So creating the workspace, we have a command. Again, I'm writing as for your understanding purpose. Whenever if you wanted to create a workspace, this is how. Ng new. Okay, ng new. And here the application name can be anything. That is where I can give here app name. So whatever the name you people wants to maintain, you can give it over there. And after completing that, the next thing is going to be creating an application. So how we can do that? Ng generate what we wanted to generate application, and here app name. I'm sorry, I'll just do a small modification. This is a workspace name, I can say. It is a workspace name, and here you're supposed to create the application name that we wanted to have. And after creating that, then the third step is going to be, once if it is done, you can just execute that application. That means write down whatever you people wants to do, any logic you can implement. And the step number 3 is going to be execute that application. So to execute that application, we use the command something like ng. Okay, serve is the command, hyphen hyphen project is equal to hyphen hyphen project is equal to. Now, right now, I have only one application here. Maybe if you can have more than one application and give that particular application name here. Understand? Give that application name here. So that means what application you people are going to use, what application you people are going to access, that you can give it over there. Understand? That you can give it over here. That is very important. Okay, that is very important. So you can give that particular one. Understand? So create the workspace, create the project, and execute. Now the time once if you execute that application, once we execute above command, it will open, or the project will run on a port number that is 4200. By default, it is from the 4200. By default, it is from the 4200, but we have an option to change that also. So where it is going to be, it runs under http://localhost:4200 has to be. This is the port where it runs. And how it is going to be running here? From where it starts the execution. That is important. Now, when it comes to here, the execution flow, okay, execution starts from index.html. That means whenever if you are giving that, first what happen, index.html will be loaded. And from the index.html, we call a selector that is going to be app-root is available. That is going to be called. And this selector is nothing but it's a component, and that component will contain the HTML, CSS, and then any other code if you can have, that code is going to be loaded. So this is how it is going to be. That means what happened, now you can see I'm going to run this application. So how I can do that? ng stands for Angular, serve, hyphen, project is equal to whatever the project we have created, you can give that particular project so that automatically it opens, it build and run that application. You can see that. It is running successfully and it is asked me to open that with the help of 4200 as the port. Now you can see the shopping application is running currently. Now, Srikanth, how you come to know that this is going to be, from where it is going to be executed? Every Angular application, there are two files that are required. One is going to be the business file, another one is the HTML file. So the first file that what it loads in the browser is nothing but index.html. Now you can see we have that index.html which is available, right? Index.html which is available. So that will get executed very initially. And in that index.html, you can see what we are having here. App-root is available. Generally, this is what we call it as a selector. App-root, whatever we are having, this is a selector. Now, what type of selector it is? It is a component-based selector. Now, what is a component and all that we will be understanding very soon. And here it is a component-based selector. That means first execution will start from index.html. Index.html. From here, it will call what? App-root component. Now, where it is available, if you can go to that app and there you can open the app component.ts. Now you can see, are we able to see the same selector here or not? Tell me. Yes or no? Same selector, whatever the name we have here, I am giving the same name over there also. So once if it is done, what this selector will do? This selector will load the template and also it will load the CSS. Now what template we are having? app.component.html is the template. And after that, app.component.css is for the styles purpose. And these two that you can find it here. You can see that app.component.html and app.component.css. Now what I want to do, I am doing some change here where I can give a simple H1. Let me write welcome to Angular application development. Welcome to Angular application development, that what I have given. And once if I am giving that and save that application, now you can see, are we able to see the same output or not? Tell me. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? So that means whatever we modified in the app component, that will be rendered. How it is going to be, you can see. I'll right click on here and go to that inspect, and here if you can see HTML, and after that we are having the head section, and after that we have some styles if it require anything. After that we are having the body. Now in the body what we are having, you can see that app root is available, and in that app root we have the H1. In the app root we have the H1. That means the first file that what it executes here is index.html. Understood? Index.html. This total content is going to be loaded. And here what we are doing, we are going to execute a component. The component is app root. Now what is an app root? It is an app component. We have a selector for that. And that selector is having what? HTML file and CSS file. That will be like this. And here, whatever you have written, that will come. Maybe I can say text align as going to be center. And at the same time, I am giving the color as going to be, let's say, green if I am giving. And then save this application. Now you can see. Am I able to get it or? Srikanth, is it mandatory here, like, to have like this? The answer is no. I mean, only do we need to have like, the tap root over there means no. whatever you people wants to execute, that selector has to be given it over there. We will dig more into that. Don't worry. What is a component and how to work with that? What are the steps needs to follow? That part I'll explain it to you. Don't worry. Now, this is how it is going to be. First index.html. In that, the selector, whatever we have specified, and that selector will load the component. That component will load the HTML and CSS that is required to build that application. So that is how it is going to be. Now, how it is going to be. How it is going to be. How always that component only will get executed. That component is specified under the module. You can see there. You can see there. That means right now, whatever I have explained, it is all about from the UI point of view. As I told you, when it comes to that Angular, we have two things here. In Angular execution, we have to consider two things. First one is going to be UI. So how the UI will be loaded means like this. This is the way the UI will be loaded. And second one is going to be, we have the business logic as well. Business logic as well. Okay, we have the business logic as well. How the business logic is going to be? The business logic will start from main.ts. You can see that. What we are having? Main.ts. Now here, main.ts is nothing but it's a main method of your Java or C#.NET application. That means whenever your program is started, first main method will be called, right? Yes or no? First thing is going to be main method will be called. And from the main method only, the remaining methods will get called. In that scenario, here, whenever the application is executing, that Angular application, the execution will start from where? Bootstrap module, that is main.ts. Main.ts. Now, what is mean by a bootstrapping? I will tell you. Bootstrapping is the process of converting a static DOM into the dynamic. That means whenever if you wanted to convert the static DOM into the dynamic DOM, there we use the bootstrap. Now, my main.ts file will load which module here? Which module is loading here? Tell me. Which module? Tell me what is the name of the module? App module. Now, if you can go to that app module, you can see if you can go to that app module, and in that app module, we are bootstrapping which component? We are bootstrapping which component? See there. See there, which component? App component. When I right click and go to that implementation, the app component selector is what? App root, and that app root, I am specifying it here. So because of that reason only, it get called. Understand? Again, I'm repeating, guys. Again, I'm repeating, I'm closing off. So whenever if you can execute that application, UI point of view, index.html is the static. But business point of view, we have main.ts is the starting. Now you can see, when I open, let's say main.ts, this is how it is going to. From the main.ts, we are bootstrapping which module? App module. Now you can see, from the main.ts, we are bootstrapping app module, I can say. We are bootstrapping app module, I can say. You can see here. I'm selecting it and go to that implementation, app module. Now from that app module, we are bootstrapping what? App component. Understand? From the bootstrapping, we are calling app component. And from here, the app component, if you can go, right click and go to the definition or implementation, app component is having some selector, and that selector is used in the index.html. Understood? So that means from the app component, we use the selector and giving it to the index.html. Now, once if we can give that index.html, then the next process is saved. So this is how, like, that execution flow. But who will takes the responsibility of executing something like this? Very, very, very important interview question. So who will takes the responsibility in order to provide this execution flow? So we have a tool that is what we call it as a Babel. Babel uses AOT. AOT stands for ahead of time mechanism, which is used to convert static DOM into dynamic DOM. That means Babel uses what? AOT, ahead of time mechanism, and converts the static DOM into the dynamic DOM. And the process of converting is known as bootstrapping. The process of conversion is known as bootstrapping, and the DOM stands for document object model. Document object model. If you know at least the basics of the JavaScript, you will be understanding what exactly the DOM stands for. But anyhow, don't worry. We are not going to start like, the complex application from today onwards. Don't worry. You can learn the JavaScript in parallel. There you will be understanding what exactly the DOM is going to. Understood? So that means this total process, whatever that execution flow that we have here, is going to be done with the help of what? Babel. And Babel uses what? AOT. AOT stands for ahead of time mechanism. And what it will do, it is used to convert the static DOM into the dynamic DOM. And the process of conversion is also known as what? Bootstrapping. Understand? Process of conversion is known as what? Bootstrapping. Understood? Understood? Tell me. Clear now? It's a tool. Inbuilt tool, Abhishek. Kind of compiler. Babel is a kind of compiler. Okay? Very good. Now here, the time when I'm creating that Angular project, it comes with, like you say, different files. You can see I created a project with the name shopping I have created here, right? ng serve -- project is equal to I have given shopping. Now, once if user has given the shopping, then what files are created and what files are there and what is the purpose of each and every file, that I'll try to explain it to you. That means I can say Angular project file system. Angular project file system, I can say. Angular project file system. Now, when you create the first project, okay, when you create the first project, whatever it might be, it doesn't matter. When you create the first project, it creates different types of things for us. You can see, just a minute, guys, please. Right. Now you can see we have, like, different files and folders are created. So the first one is going to be, you can see there, app folder. Understand? App folder is available. ng serve, not server, ng serve. Okay. Now you can see, I'll write every project in Angular is having a folder that is src is the folder, which means it contains the source code to build the project, I can say. Understand? Every Angular project you can take, we have a folder with the name what? src. Now what is src here? src is having all the project files. Understand? All the project resources that we are having. If you want, you can see here. Maybe I can close everything and you can see here src is available. And in that src, what we are having, you can see every project. Yes, every project is having index. Okay, you can see we have the tab and then assets is available. And then we are having favorite icon, index.html, main.ts, styles.that, and tsconfig.app.json. And then spec is available. So these are the files and folders that what it creates. Now what each and everything will do, the first one is that src, that is the common for everywhere. Now the second folder will contain app. You can see that the second one is going to be app is the folder. Now what an app folder will contain? It contains the application resources to build the Angular projects. Like, so what it contains? It contains the modules, it contains components, and it contains directives, and it contains services. If you wanted to have any service, you can, and it contains pipes, etc. That means every Angular element that we require is available under the app folder only. Understand? App folder only. That is the very basic folder where it contains all the things. Now you can see app-routing-module. And at the same time, app-component.css, component.html, component.spec.ts, component.ts, app.module.ts. Like that you can see everything is available here. Understand? Everything is available in this particular folder only, app folder only, where you can write all the logic. And second one, you see we have a folder with the name assets is available. We have a folder with the name what? Assets. Now what an assets will contain? Assets. This folder contains static resources. This folder contains static resources. Now what is meant by a static resource? Like it may be an image, or else text files, or else PDF files, or else Word documents, etc. Understand? That means assets folder contains the static resources. Static resources in the sense what? Images, okay, text, PDF, Word, such kind of things. If you wanted to have, then at that time we use that particular one. Clear na? Two are done. Assets are done and app is done. Now what would be the next one? You can see we have the favorite icon. you can see the favorite icon is something like which will be displayed at browser address bar. I am running my Angular application. Here you can see in the tab, you are able to see some image or not. Tell me, is it visible to all? Tell me guys. See this, we have an image here. That image is nothing but what? The favorite icon, fav icon. Generally we call it a fav icon. Okay, fav icon is available and this is that icon that you can find it over. Okay, this is that icon where you can find it over there. Directly, you can see it over here. That is how it is going to. And it is not much important. I don't want to write even that. Okay, leave about it. And after that, here you can see we have index.html. What we are having? Index.html, which is very, very, very important. Index.html. Now, what an index.html will do? It is the starting page for Angular application. It is the starting page for that application. Whenever if you run that application, the application UI, user interface, will load from the index.html. Okay, it loads from the index.html only. And the next one here you can see we have main.ts is available. The next one is going to be main.ts is available. Now, what is main.ts? It is the entry point. Simple terms, I can say it is the entry point. Entry point. It is that entry point. From here, application will get compiled and process. That means the compilation will start from here only. The compilation of the Angular application TypeScript code will start from main.ts only. Understood? Yeah, okay. Will start from here only. That means main.ts is the entry point. From here, that application will get compiled and then process. Everything will start from here on. And the next one you can see, do we have anything? Yeah, we have like, the styles.css. Now you can see the next file is going to be styles.css. It is used to provide global styles for the Angular components. That means generally speaking, Angular is made up with the help of component-based architecture. That means we have a lot of components that are defined. Now each component is nothing but what? It contains its own functionality. All together we call it as Angular application. Simple terms I can say. Suppose let's say when I create a 10 component and in all the 10 component I have a h1 tag, and for that h1 tag I wanted to apply some boldness or I wanted to apply some font size. If that is my requirement, I can write those styles in this particular place. Understand? That means styles.css is like, one folder. What I can do, here I can apply all the styles globally. Globally that I can apply all the styles over here. That is what I'm trying. Understand? And apart from that one, you see we have what? tsconfig app.json and tsconfig. These two are used for type scripting purpose. That means one is going to be the normal, another one is TypeScript purpose. So this is what we are having when it comes to Angular. Clear now? Clear or not? Tell me. No, after compilation, only you will find the JavaScript files. See this runtime.js, main.js, like that it is going to. Abhishek, what you are not clear, could you please tell me so that I can explain that one more time? Abhishek, Abhishek Gupta. Routing, I'll tell you, routing is nothing but it's providing the URL simply. Told them, told them. You should have to follow. Guys, initial days are very important for this Angular. If you are joining from mobile and in between, if you are getting a call and you're talking with them, and later after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, if you can come back to the session, you know, it won't get executed in a proper way. Whenever if you wanted to learn, like, with some perfection, spend some quality time on this subject. What I have observed here, like most of the people, they join from the mobile. In between, if they are getting the call and they'll attend the call, and then, like, after 10 minutes or 15 minutes, once if it is done, they're coming back to the session. At that time, like, if you can miss something, then that never comes. Because like here we have 500 plus people. For everyone, if they are asking, like, sir, this part I not understand, means that's my mistake. But most of the people, they are able to understand. Only few people, okay, only they are unable to follow. Fine, I can explain you for second time or third time, that's okay. But the problem here is very basic questions you guys are asking me again. Very, very basic questions. That means you are not following me. Okay, so don't repeat it. I will just explain you like one more time how to create how to create like, the workspace and project and everything. Don't worry. Okay, right, right. Now I can show you like, okay, these are the files and folder structure. Maybe you can just, I, Abhishek, I told you, I guess, 100 times. I don't have any videos with me. I'm having only the code. I'm having only the notes. That's it. If you need anything more, then contact the admin. Okay. Please try to do that. Okay. Now I will create like one more time the same workspace and all. Guys, follow me. Those who haven't created so far. Okay. Follow me like what I'm doing. Again, I'm repeating for you guys for one more time. Okay. So this is the last time that what I'm trying to create. The workspace and all. I'm deleting the folder. Just give me a minute. Okay. Right now, I don't have any workspace here, right? I'll start from the very beginning, guys. See this. I'll start from very beginning. I'm open the folder. Okay. Maybe let's go to the my computer. I hope this you people know. Okay. The very first thing is going to be my computer. And I'm creating all your project under the D drive. I have already created a full stack Angular folder, and there I have that Angular example. And from there, open the command prompt. That is the first step. Okay. Second step is going to be follow this one. Create a workspace. How to create a workspace? ng new workspace and the name of the workspace. And initially, I don't want to create that application. Rather, I'm creating only the workspace. What I'm doing here, initially, I'm not creating the application. I'm creating only the workspace. Now here, whatever the name you wanted to give for your workspace, you can give. Maybe I can write something like Angular Basics is the one that what I am giving. Any name you can give, guys. Okay, Angular Basic examples is the workspace that what I am creating. Any name you can give. ng new, and then we have given Angular Basic example. And Shrikant, why you have given no create application name? Angular is compresses with the help of many concepts. That means we have to understand the modules, we have to understand the component, we have to understand the pipe, we have to understand the services, and we have to understand the factory. Lot of components are there, lot of concepts are available. For each and every concept, I'll create a new project. So that is the reason where I'm creating a workspace right now. That is the reason initially I don't want to take any application. I'll create that applications later. Now what I'm doing, ng stands for Angular, new, whatever the workspace name you wanted to create, you can, and then give no create application. And then click on OK. That's it. Now you can see it might take a minute because it has to download the node modules folder, and which is the size of that is around, I guess, 200 MB approx. 200 MB approximately. Right, perfect. Now it got downloaded. Now it's got downloaded. Now once if it is done, next step is going to be create the project. Now how to create the project? ng generate application and the name of the app name. Now here you can see the time when I'm giving application here, components. I'll tell you that only for your component examples. Now you can see when I'm giving ng generate application component examples and the time when I'm giving enter, now you can see we are getting an error. What is that error? This command is not available when running the Angular CLI outside the workspace. So that means Angular examples folder, you can observe that is not directly contain the node modules. Wherever you have the node module, that is what? Angular CLI. Understand? Angular CLI, that only. So that means one step you have to dig into this particular folder and then you can write. For that reason, what I can do, I'll be using cd space, whatever the folder we have, understand, whatever the folder we have, go to that folder. Now my folder is what? Angular basic examples. So that cd space Angular basic examples. That's it. Understood now? Now write like the same thing, ng generate, and what you want to generate. I'll generate that application, and what is the name of that application? I'll be writing components demo, that what I am using. The very first thing we will be understanding how to work with a component so that I can use it. Now you can just click on OK. There you can see it is asked me to go for the routing mechanism. Shrikant, what is meant by a routing? Routing is a mechanism which is used to provide the navigation. Understand? Navigation within that application. Whenever if you wanted to provide the navigation within that application, there you can give the routing. Yes or no, anything is fine at this moment. Maybe I can say yes. And the next step is going to be, which style sheet format would you like to use? I'll go with my CSS. Now it is taking like, couple of minutes here. Sorry, couple of seconds only, not even minute. Now you can see it is installing the package. Everything is going to be added over. That's it. Now you can see packages installed successfully. Understand? Now I'm in which one? I'm in which folder? You can see there where the node modules are there. I'm in that folder only. Okay, I'm in that folder. Now from here, if you can write a command, ng serve, okay, hyphen. Right now I have only one project, but this is required when you are having like, the multiple projects. Suppose if you people are having more than one project, then at that time you can specify like this. Now what project I'm creating? I'm using components demo and I'm just executing it. Now you can see what happened. Now you see everything is done and you're able to see an output, and where you are able to see Angular Light Development Server is listening on a port number that is localhost 4200. Open your browser and click on there. There you can see components demo app is running it over here. Understood now? Tell me. Clear now this time? Yes or no? Hello. Very good. Now, once if it is done, very good. Thank you. Thank you so much. And once if it is done, then the next thing is going to be what folders and files we are having. Just open that. When I try to open it, the command prompt, and open with the help of Visual Studio Code, there you can see we have different files and folders. Okay. And for each and every file and folder, I have given an introduction. First one is node module. Node module will contain all the libraries that are required to run that Angular application. And second one is going to be, you can see tsconfig.json file is available. What it will do, it configure the rules for the TypeScript. And then we have package.json, package.lock.json. And in the projects we are having src is the folder. In that we have that app folder, and then assets folder, and then favorite icon, index, main.ts, like that we are having. That means how the execution process here, The execution of Angular application, generally speaking, it starts from the main.ts, guys. Okay. That means the time when you run the Angular application, Angular application, one second. Okay, suppose let's say I'm running my Angular application. I'm running my Angular application as a developer. Suppose let's say I run my Angular application. So the time when you run that Angular application, the very initial step, first it will start. Let's take this is an Angular application. First it will start what? Main.ts. First it will start what? Main.ts. I can say that main.ts is the first file. And this main.ts, internally what happen? It will call or bootstrap a module that is what we call it as a app module. What it will do? It will bootstrap a module that is what we call it as a app module. And this app module, again, what it will do? It will bootstrap. Understand? It will bootstrap again a component that is what we call it as a app component. It will bootstrap a component that is going to be app component. Understood this? And then what happened? This total TS is a dynamic one that will get appended to the index.html. That means this app components selector is going to be used under the index.html. That means it will go to the index.html page, and in that index.html page, we have app root is available. App root is nothing but the app component. Understand? App component all together, which will be displayed it on the browser. That's it. Understood? First file is going to be main.ts, and main.ts will bootstrap what? App module. App module will bootstrap what? App component. App component will give the data to where? Index.html. How it gives the data? Internally, it uses the selector. Now, what this selector will contain? This selector will contain the HTML code, and then we have the CSS code all together. We have the HTML, and then I'll be using CSS over there. That's it. So all together will be loaded in this particular place. Shrikant, here if I'll be having, let's say, one H1 tag, or else maybe I have a table, or else maybe I have a list tag. So all these are going to be loaded here means yes. For all these things, I'm using one common tag. That is what we call it as a selector. That what we call it as selector. That means here whatever you people are seeing, okay, by using a single selector, we are able to load all the content to index.html. We are able to load all the content to index.html. That is how it is going. Clear na? Clear or not? Tell me. Hello. Perfect. Thank you so much. Right. So this is how it is going to be. That means when I say about that Angular is made up with the help of like different things. Okay, different things that are available. So this is how it is going to be. Now what I want to do, we will be starting the first example with the help of a component. Once we start that, then we will be understanding. Yes, very good question. Why we need to have that one? Generally, the scenario of like why we need to have here is, see, in normal application, one HTML is enough, right? One HTML is enough. If there is a one file, how many people can work on that particular file? Tell me. How many people can work on that particular file? I have a one file where I'm having all my HTML. Okay, all my HTML is defined. If that is a case, like, how many people can execute? How many people can use it? How many people? Only one. Suppose, let's say, I have a requirement. The requirement is going to be something like this, guys. Just assume that, okay, this is how it is going to be. I have like, header is one for my application. And at the same time, body is there. Maybe let's say I have like 4 items. One is the navigation. One is what? Navigation for my application. Okay, navigation is the one that what I am trying to have. Navigation. And what I am doing, I am providing some links for the navigation purpose. That is what the requirement. After that, I have, let's say, some images are there. I want to display a couple of images over there. And after that, I want to write some sort of footer. That means some social media links like that. I wanted to maintain something. Tell me if that is a case, if everything is going to be done by a single developer, it might take like, more time or not. Tell me. Yes or no? That means I asked you to build what? Navigation menu and display all that images and at the same time footer, everything you supposed to build. If I ask something like that, then definitely it might take more time. Instead of doing that, what I'm trying to do, I'll create each and everything as a component. That means this is one component. This is a second component and this is going to be third component. If I'll be creating or following that architecture, then multiple people can work on it, right? This is one component and this is another component too, and this is going to be another component. That means 3 developers, they are working in parallel and complete the 3 component. And how I can access it with the help of selector. That means every component is having some selector. Maybe this is going to be app.component1. And here it is going to be, I can say that app.component2. And I can say that here app-component3, that what I am using. Like that it is going to be. Now, if that is the case, what I can do, I don't need to develop everything here because it was already done here. Now, in order to get that simple term, what I can do, I am using it. I am simply using it so that the footer will be replaced here. Now, I'll be using the second one. Images are going to be getting through. And I am using this one. Navigation will come here. Like that it is. Clear? Understood? That is what we call it as a selector. What selector will do? Selector will get the total HTML and compresses into the index.html file. Like that it is. Okay. Let me save this one also. I'll upload so that you will be understanding. Okay, Angular execution flow, that part I can use. Right. 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 Now we will be starting a new one, that is Angular component. Or else let's say today I'll just explain you like what we are having. Later I can show you. No need, guys. No need. Everything, whatever I'm explaining, it is automatic process. Okay, it's an automatic process. But you should understand how the execution flow, right? That is only the reason. Now, when I say about Angular application, you can see Angular workflow diagram. If you can open any website, you can open. This is how it is going to be. That means mostly, yeah. This is the diagram where you can find it in the angular.io. You can see what concepts we are having and everything. Now, what is an Angular? Angular is a platform and a framework for building single page client application using HTML and TypeScript. Angular is written in TypeScript. It implements core and optional functionality as a set of TypeScript libraries that you import into your application. And the architecture of Angular application relies on certain fundamental concepts. The basic building blocks of Angular framework are the Angular components. And those components are organized into module. So, like that, it is going to be what we are having when it comes to the Angular means Angular is compressed with the help of this one. This is the diagram, guys. If somebody asks you like what we have in the Angular mean, that's it. This is what we are having. Nothing apart from that. Now what we are having, the first one is going to be, you can see there, template. Template send the data to the component. Component will send the data to the template. And this is the template and this is the component. How we understand with the help of metadata. And a template will get the data from where? Directive. Template will use as the directive. And a component will get the data with the help of service. And along with that, we have the module, module of services, module of values, and module of functions. So generally speaking, what we have when it comes to the Angular, that means majorly what are all the things that we should understand here is Angular building blocks. Building blocks. I mean, as a real-time guy, I'm telling you what are all the things what you need to understand with respect to that Angular is. I can say that Angular is a component-based framework or platform. Angular is a component-based framework or platform, and every Angular application development must involve following things. First one is going to be, we should have the modules. Second one is going to be factory. Third one is going to be services. Fourth one is going to be templates. Fifth one is going to be pipes. Sixth one is going to be directives. And seventh one is going to be routing. Okay, seventh one is going to be routing. And eighth one is going to be, I can say, metadata. Did I miss anything here? You can see here. So the first thing is going to be what we are having. You can see module. And after that, we are having the component. And after that, template directives, data binding. That is the one. And the next one is going to be services and dependency injection. And next one is routing. That's it. So according to me, these are very important for every Angular developer. Not even you, not even me, not even a Java developer, not even a .NET developer or PHP developer, whoever it is, whoever it is, every Angular developer should know about this one. If you can learn about all these things, around 80% of the knowledge you will be getting. 80%. Understand? Module, factory, services, template, pipes, directive, routing, and metadata. Now, what I'll give a short intro of each and everything before I'm going to start one by one. I'll give a quick intro. Now, what is meant by a module? Modules is a concept or else it is used. A module is used to improve the modularity for building Angular application. Now, what is meant by a modularity here? Suppose let's take a simple example of Naresh IT is an example you can take. Naresh IT will contains different sections, right? That means trainer is one section, training department, non-technical, that is admin is one department, and HR services is another department, and the course schedules is another department. Like that, we have different departments. If somebody approached me from the Naresh IT and they asked me to build a project, first thing what I need to do, in trainer, what are all the features you wanted to implement? In admin module, what are all the features you wanted to implement? In HR module, what are all the features? And the course schedule, what are all the features? That means the first thing that what I'll ask them is how many modules are required. Based upon that, suppose let's say the trainer is required 3 pages. In that, let's say one form to take that input. So like that, I can segregate, and the trainer related, I can have it in one folder, right? Did you understand? Tell me. So such kind of things, if you wanted to maintain, then you can use the module. This concept, what we call it as a modularity. A module is used to improve the modularity for building the Angular application. Understand? Now what it contains, a module will contain components, pipes, directives, comma, we are having what? Services, etc. That means a module is having many things. Like we can have what? Component, pipe, directive, services, everything that you can have it in the module section. That is how it is going to. Now, what is meant by the second one? Second one is a factory. What is a factory? It is nothing but predefined functions. A factory is nothing but the function. Now, what is a service? A service is a collection of factories. A service is a collection of factories. That means we have collection of factories that are available. Okay, that means factory is nothing but it's a predefined function. If we can have like more than one, then that is what we call it as a service. Now template is what? Template is nothing but the HTML. It is a HTML. Okay, it is a HTML. And after that pipe, it is used to transform the data. Now, what is meant by transformation? Suppose let's say from the database I'm getting 100. Now, what is 100? Is that is a dollar, or else a rupee, or else if it is going to be a pound. We don't have any clarity on that kind of data. But for the end user, if I'm displaying 100, how they are able to identify, how they are able to understand what exactly the 100. So for that, I'm not doing any manipulations on the back end. I can do the manipulation on the front end, and that manipulations are going to be done at pipes level. And then we have the directive. Directives also nothing but it is a special components, kind of components only. And the routing is used for single page applications. And then metadata, it contains information about what we are developing. Suppose if you are developing a component, then we have a metadata decorator. If you're developing a service, we have @injectable. If you are developing a pipe, @pipe. If you are developing, let's say directive, we have @directive. Like that, it contains that information that what we are developing. So every Angular you can take, every Angular development should definitely, every Angular project you can take should contain all these things together. It's very, very, very important to know. So please just read this one. This is very important for us. Okay, just it's a one-line word I have given, but from tomorrow onwards, we will be starting working with the component and then followed with the module and then followed with the service and then followed with the template and then pipe directive routing and then metadata will be the common part. Every day we will be getting. Okay. So that is how it is going. So this is all about that Angular intro yesterday and today, whatever we have discussed, that is complete intro only. Still, if you have any doubts, just you can ask me. Otherwise, the people can start following with Suman. We are at introduction only, right? Suman Kumar Sahu. We are not yet started even a single program in Angular. Then how can I tell that? If I tell to you, then the remaining 500 people may get confused. For everything, there is a flow. Okay. Please wait. Definitely we will see. Angular will never connect with any kind of database, guys. Angular will never connect with any kind of database rather than direct connection is not possible. We should have some server side support. If there is a server side support, then only it will be. Angular will never connect. That's very important. You just have to remember. Okay. I'm uploading everything here. You may please go through this and create the workspace and create the project and verify each and every file what it is doing. Okay. And what is the importance of the file. Everything just you can do that one. And I will share you that image as well. Yes, very good. I will give you that image as well. Just a minute. Where I have stored this. Perfect. I have shared you that one as well. Sheikh Arif Basha. Please, you can copy this and paste it in the notepad. I don't have that much of time, like, to create a separate files. Please do that one from your end. Okay, I'm checking that Angular is installed or not. How do we check it in the command prompt? It's quite simple, guys, as I told you. Just open the command prompt. Okay, give ng version. If you are getting like, this one, then it's okay. If you are not getting, then what you need to do is install the Angular. That's it. If anyone is getting ng is not recognized as an internal or external command, then what you need to do, you have to install that Angular one more time. That's it. You're supposed to install that Angular one more time. Thanks, Abhishek. Thank you so much. Any other questions?